Now, the Gautrain is at a critical juncture as its concession ends this month, moving to a public-private partnership with a new operator. The current operator maintains service continuity, but the public's questions centre on reliability, affordability and the long-term protection and expansion of this vital transport system. Now, joining us to discuss the Gautrain's future is Gauteng Transport MEC Kedibone Diale-Tlabela. MEC, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for seeing us.
Thank you very much, Hugo, and good afternoon to fellow viewers of Newzroom.
So I suppose the first port of call is Gautrain and how it's operated over the last decade and more. Have you been happy? How much of a convenience has it brought to Joburgers?
Maybe going back to thanking our predecessors, bold men and women who took this giant step. It wasn't an easy one, I think, and looking back at historical content about Gautrain when it was conceptualized, it meant a lot to those who were leading at the time, and it created a lot of confusions among ourselves as a society. But 20 years later, here we are, a reliable service, a quality service, a form of transportation that had also ignited our economy as Gauteng, especially in areas where our stations are. We are now at the point where, as the Gauteng provincial government and Gauteng people are about to pay it off on the 27th of March 2026, the costs related to Gautrain would be paid off. So this is quite an achievement. It's one of the largest South Africa's PPP projects that are very successful. I think it's rated #1 in the continent. And one of the things that in the past week, the citizens of Gauteng are worried about is it going to still be the Gautrain that we know, that it's efficient, it's effective, there's quality service, it's reliable.
Are you surprised that residents are questioning?
No, I'm not. I think is it offensive? There's one TikToker that speaks about how it will look like. And that's a true reflection of, offense is reflecting on a government and a society. That society does not respect public facilities. He speaks about people would be on top of the train, drinking alcohol. And remember, in Gautrain you can't drink water, in Gautrain you can't eat chappies. And there's enforcement to that. And I think it's a lesson to all of us. I think I took it to my social media page that offense is cautioning us also as government that maintain. And with Gautrain...
But your track record, MEC, around maintenance as government, I mean, if we take PRASA as an example...
If you look at us now, we're doing our best. If you come to facilities, the DLTC facilities of Gautrain, they are of Gauteng Department of Roads and Transport, what was called Gautrans. The traffic departments, as you know them, we've transformed them into smart licensing centers. The workers there, they are a true reflection of what we want now as this cohort of leaders, as this cohort of consumers of those services. Of course, yes, there has been historical challenges with public facilities, but we also are saying to society, these are our own facilities. The Gauteng people have now inherited a 45 billion asset in the form of the Gautrain, a successful PPP project. And how are we continuing? We're still going to continue with the PPP, with the private sector participation.
So maybe MEC, the question we should be asking is, what changes in as far as administration of Gautrain is concerned? How much of a hand is the government going to have in the actual management? Because, as you've indicated, based on social media and what we've seen in the past, citizens don't trust government too much, and fairly so.
It has been a government entity. It has been run by government together with the private sector. I think you heard the president in his State of the Nation address emphasized more on partnering with the public, with the private sector as the public sector to ensure delivery of some of the services, especially of infrastructure development. Like I say, it was uncertain then, 20 years ago, what is Gauteng government trying to do? We didn't have money. to build Gautrain. And we partnered with the private sector to deliver it. Now we are saying, where are we? We are done paying the debt
45 billion,
costs related to Gautrain. It's now our asset. How are we moving forward? We're moving forward, continuing with the service, continuing with the private partnership and participation in ensuring that we expand further the Gautrain. We ensure that it remains a good asset, a great asset that we have inherited.
It's also been perceived to be an elite asset, right? In that it's expensive, largely to travel on the Gautrain. Is this service going to extend beyond its current routes? And are we likely to see it becoming cheaper? Is it going to become cheaper? Is it going to be more expensive? I think is a worry.
So one of the things that part of the criticism also within the Gauteng provincial legislature previously, it has always been, this is an elite project. And one of the things that we did as this current cohort was to look into the ridership, was to how do we make sure that an ordinary South African who is a low incomer is able to use Gautrain to work. By the way, Gautrain, for those who are earning less than 350k per annum, is far cheaper than a taxi from Pretoria to Johannesburg. So there's a product that we launched. I think some of your studio members participate in that. It's called Clever Mover.
Yeah.
So Clever Mover, you apply. If you earn less than 350k, we are able to give you a 50% discount. And I'm told by those who are working with it and comparing and doing research that it's far cheaper than using a taxi from Pretoria to Johannesburg. So there's those packages. We also have products for scholars and learners. Traveling from Johannesburg, going to University of Pretoria, for instance, you get a discount. We also have discount for the elderly people. We are also looking into expanding the services of Gautrain. Just on Friday at 5 o'clock in the morning, we went into Hammanskraal. There's a challenge of public transport in Hammanskraal. We took with us a Gautrain. We also requested the minister to call PRASA to join us on that inspection in local session that we had in the morning. And we are trying to make sure that we reach the wider range. Of course, the Premier has pronounced the expansion program that will go to Soweto, Mamelodi. But how do we take Gautrain services into Atteridgeville, into Hammanskraal, into Sebokeng, as well as into Motlhakeng? So we're doing our best to make sure that this remains a train of people of Gauteng.
Obviously, sometimes it's not just about your best, but it's about a standard that is acceptable to the people. Now, if we look at the administration of Gautrain over the last decade and a half and more, it's been pretty successful. It's run on time. It's been super efficient. What are the lessons that have been learnt from the management of this Triple P that can be taken to other aspects of your department and ensure that we have the same level of efficiencies around Gauteng?
Look, within the Gautrain Management Agency, we manage as government to recruit young South Africans, very qualified, who studied in our own public universities here. Like the CEO grew up here in Gauteng, was born and bred in Gauteng, in Mabopane, Winterveld, if you know that part of Gauteng. And a whole lot of them. These are skilled young people from our own country. Quite efficient, of course, and we also are transferring the skills with Gautrans as a department, Gauteng Roads and Transport as a department. One of the things that we did with them was to model a new traffic department, what we call DLTC. How can we deal with the inefficiencies within the system? And like I say, we have so far around 8 smart DLTCs, and a lot of people that use that, and we're encouraging them to use them. You get into a smart licensing center, unlike before, you spend less than 10-15 minutes, you are out with your disc or whatever that you would be going to renew there. So we're using them. We just built Vereeniging Intermodal Facility using the skills within Gautrain. We delivered it on time and within cost. So we are improving. We're building roads. We're completing our projects here in Gauteng. For the past 3 years, we've been doing great things as a department, including our entities, and tapping into the skill that we managed to acquire as a government using that entity. So the Gautrain has always been within the Gauteng provincial government. The difference is that it was managed using a PPP, which is a participation of government as well as the
I'm afraid we've run short of time.
And it's continuing, so we will not have service disruptions.
We are grateful. We are grateful for your time. Kedibone Diale-Tlabela, Gauteng Transport MEC.